$1 million NBA bracket challenge. Here we go. I'm gonna do my version and I'm smart. I'll wait until it's 4 hours left. I'll win $1 million. Of course, you need to predict correct score lines and plus it is gonna be my chance to talk about each series and give my opinion and see if my prediction is gonna be correct. See where my biases are, see where I'm wrong, and maybe I can improve my basketball knowledge somewhere. We're gonna start with Denver-Minnesota series, of course. Last night, Minnesota gave a fight, but I think it's gonna be quite easy series for Denver. So I picked Denver will win in 5. I think they're gonna win 4-1. I think Minnesota's gonna take one game because Anthony Edwards is that special, and he showed it last night that he was incredible in that game, and I think he's gonna play one of those at home. Plus, and Karl-Anthony Towns is due to have a decent game. He didn't shoot a lot in the paint, because I'm pretty sure it's because of Rudy roaming around somewhere. But I think Karl-Anthony Towns needs to assert himself more, and I think one game for Minnesota is good enough. And Denver looks way stronger. Clippers won game 1, and we're leading quite a lot in game 2. I think Phoenix has a lot to figure out, and I think they will. The only bad thing for Phoenix is they play one day later. Yes, they play today, so they had one game layover between game 2 and game 3, and Durant played 45, Booker played 43 or something like that. Clippers gonna win the game today. We don't know the Paul George status, but I feel like it's Phoenix in 7. I think they're gonna split 2 games in LA. Game 5 is gonna go to Phoenix. Game 6 is gonna go to Clippers, and then Game 7, because of the home court, I'm picking Phoenix. You know, a lot of teams winning Game 7s in a row recently, but still, the statistics of overall history shows that Game 7 at home is a very strong thing. So I'm not gonna go against a home team in Game 7. Especially as talented team as Phoenix are. Golden State at Sacramento. Draymond Green is suspended. They play game 3 today, and I think it puts a lot of pressure on Sacramento Kings because they need to win this one today. If they don't win this one, Draymond comes back game 4. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be tied 2-2 if he comes back and he plays. Coming back to Sacramento in momentum, swinging back to Golden State. It's a serious fucking thing, alright? I mean, of course they were pushing to get Draymond suspended, and for example, I don't think he deserved to get suspended. I think Draymond Green, yeah, he was excessive, but maybe a fine at most. But he already served his punishment of being thrown out. And if we look at first 2 games, Golden State could have easily took both of them, actually. Game 1, if Wiggins makes wide open 3, it's 1-0. If Draymond doesn't get suspended, Golden State were in a massive run at that point. I was feeling like, okay, Golden State's coming. Sacramento's in trouble. Then Draymond gets suspended, thrown out of the game, and the whole momentum swung in Sacramento's favor, and Golden State couldn't stop him because there's no Draymond Green. I feel like Golden State will find something, maybe in Kuminga, or they're gonna play Lamb. I'm not sure about Lamb's quality to play in this series, but they're gonna look for some options, and if Golden State wins today, Sacramento's in trouble. That is why I'm picking Golden State in 7. I know, but that's just my gut feeling. I feel like a lot of people writing off Golden State, and I think it's a little bit premature. Today is going to be a Steph Curry game and a Klay Thompson game, where they both going to be 30 points each. I'm not sure about Jordan Poole because he wasn't himself the whole year, and maybe he's not going to even play today because he has some ankle issues. But Wiggins going to show up first game he's playing at home in 4 months. So I feel Golden State wins today. Wins game 4, loses game 5, wins game 6, wins game 7. So that's how I think it's gonna come down to. Memphis, LA Lakers. We don't know Ja Morant's status, but there was a massive win for Lakers in game 1. The fact that they played like shit yesterday didn't help because I'm picking them in 6 games. I feel like they're gonna win every home game from now on. They're gonna lose game 5. Maybe Ja comes back for game 5, but I feel like the Lakers gonna win in 6 games, and winning game 1 was crucial. Anthony Davis needs to get his shit together. He wasn't aggressive yesterday at all. Yeah, Lakers in 6. That's my prediction. Hopefully I'm right. To the Eastern Conference we go. Milwaukee, Miami. Miami won game 1 because they were playing incredibly well. Game 2 goes to Milwaukee because they played historically well. I think Giannis is gonna come back, and I'm picking Milwaukee in 5. I think they're gonna win the rest of the games in this series because Miami's offense is not that good as we see in the game 1. They can be dangerous, of course, but Milwaukee. Especially if Giannis comes back, I think Miami can just score enough points to stay in the game with them. Game 1 was one of those misleading games where you think, oh, we might be getting some, but it's actually nothing. Cleveland, New York, but I think it's a very tight series, and I'm picking Cleveland to come out in 7. Of course, I feel like it's a very tight series, and because Cleveland has home court advantage, that's why I'm picking Cleveland. But I feel like if Darius Garland continues to be that aggressive, Mobley and Allen are gonna settle in a little bit more, and Cleveland is gonna win in 7. Philadelphia, Brooklyn. I feel like Philadelphia can fuck it up and lose one of the games, but I feel like it's Philly in 4. Brooklyn Nets are a little bit misleading because they succeed, because of course they made a trade, but after the trade they were under 500. So I feel like Philadelphia has to win in 4 for their own sake, and I feel like Doc Rivers is gonna put some emphasis into that, because they need as much rest as they can get, because Harden a little bit injured, a little bit knackered, and they need as much rest as they can get. However, Boston, I feel like Boston's gonna win in 4 because Trae Young cannot do anything against this Boston Celtics team. Boston just figures out guards lineups so well, and against point guards, especially of Trae Young's caliber, they can do whatever they want. If Derrick White plays better than Trae Young, I have no hope for them. And the only hope I have for Atlanta winning the game is maybe benching Trae Young and like playing him, and then just like, yo, my man, sit down for a little bit. It's the only hope I have for Atlanta in this particular situation. They might look into trading Trae Young, because I'm not sure what their options are, and not everybody. I mean, I feel like the only win-win trade we can see is Atlanta trading Trae Young to Minnesota for Karl-Anthony Towns, but I'm not even sure. Atlanta might have to throw some picks to get Karl-Anthony Towns. That's the only idea, but it's a separate video. Whatever. Milwaukee Cleveland will be an interesting series, but I feel like Milwaukee is so much better than Cleveland Cavaliers. This series can be interesting, but I feel like I'll pick Milwaukee in 5. I know it seems a little bit crazy, but I think I'll pick Milwaukee in 5. I just think if Giannis comes back and gets into a little bit of playing condition against Miami, it's gonna be over. I think that they just took a precaution, didn't play him. I feel like he's gonna be back before the series is over here. Plus, if they win in 5, they're gonna have some rest days for Giannis to get back. So I feel like Milwaukee is gonna win in 5, and Cleveland is not gonna cause too much concern for Milwaukee Bucks. Philly at Boston is a very interesting one. Philadelphia has this thing where neither Embiid nor Harden showed that they can be relied upon in the playoffs. I don't know. I feel like Boston is not gonna have much trouble with them. I'll pick Boston in 6, and we roll from there. I just want to respect Philly as much as I can. I don't know about Philly either health or Philly's ability to compete throughout the whole game, and it might cost them. And Boston is. It looks like Boston is very young, but they have the most playoff experience out of contenders. Lakers and Golden State, if it comes down to that, I feel like this series can be very tight. Oh, it's so difficult to pick between these two because play styles are so different and you never know how it's gonna go. Like we see Golden State having trouble with Sacramento now because they're just running up and down. However, Golden State plays the similar way, but Lakers play much slower. However, they big, strong team. But to compete with Golden State, you have to score. And yes, Lakers have one of the best defenses, but I feel like it's Golden State in 7. I might be wrong. My personal finals that I want to see is Lakers, Celtics. Denver, Phoenix. Denver versus Phoenix Suns is going to be very interesting because Phoenix beat 4-0 Denver team in 2021, and KD wasn't even there. By dominating the Jokic matchup. How is Denver gonna cope with that? Denver looks pretty good against Minnesota, but it's Minnesota, of course. I like this Denver team, but I just don't see how they stop Phoenix when they attack Jokic. But I think I'll pick Phoenix in 6. I think it's Phoenix in 6. They win Game 5 on the road, and they go to Western Conference Finals versus Golden State. Conference Finals, Phoenix versus Golden State Warriors. And shit, we get into the part where I don't fucking know. So we're just gonna roll with whatever comes to my mind. Phoenix versus Golden State. Of course, KD versus his old team. Phoenix has home court advantage. Golden State does not. I want to say Phoenix. However, I just don't see them in the finals this year. However, when I say that and I think about Golden State, how they play right now and with their whole situation right now, I don't see me in the finals either. I feel like it's gonna be Phoenix in 6 again. I feel like Phoenix is gonna beat Golden State with Kevin Durant matchup is going to be too much for Golden State. Just thinking about last year, of course, Phoenix flamed out against Dallas and stuff. But Golden State had trouble with Ayton already. And Ayton is not the same this year. So this might swing in a different way. But Ayton was trouble for Golden State. I don't see anybody stopping Booker. I definitely don't see Wiggins stopping Durant. Yeah, I think it's Phoenix in the final. Milwaukee-Boston. Boston was so dominant against Milwaukee this year, and I see Boston winning it in 6. Very tight matchup. If we talk about last year and Milwaukee having that game 7 at home, probably Milwaukee in 7. But because Boston beat them by 40, beat them by 35, and then played their junior varsity team and only lost by 5 in overtime, I see Boston having their number, and I think Boston may not be very dominant, but I think Boston's closing them out at home and beating them, and Boston is gonna go to the NBA Finals again. And I think this is the year the Boston Celtics win it all. I put Boston Phoenix final, but I feel like Boston in 5 in the final. I might be crazy. These predictions I definitely predict in a way that is unorthodox. I'm trying to go for like a little bit of a hot take. Boston in 5 seems reasonable. I feel like Boston just so well equipped to play against these teams. Like look at last year. They locked down Kyrie and KD. Of course, there's Chris Paul in the team, but I mean, Chris Paul is not even consistent. Is he going to be healthy for the finals? I'm not sure. So I feel like Boston is going to win in 5, and point margin game 1 of NBA Finals. Let's go 11 points. They're going to win by 11 in the first game of the finals. Submit this hoe. This is my bracket. Please leave a comment if you agree with some of my takes, or maybe you disagree somewhere. And I'll hey, listen. I want here to be a discussion here. Let me know where I'm wrong and let me know why. Just don't be like, oh, you stupid. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.